and we're
Disabled Disney.
Hi, welcome to this week's video for Disabled Disney. I'm Melissa.
I'm Jillian.
And I'm David.
You thought you were going to get to go first, didn't you? And this week's video is about guest services at the Disneyland Resort. Guest services covers a lot of topics, so grab yourself a cup of coffee and sit down and grab a piece of paper and a pen and take notes. There's going to be a lot of information coming at you.
And if you don't drink coffee, you don't have to grab the cup of coffee.
You grab a soda, iced tea, glass of water. Just
Wine.
get comfortable.
Water's good for you.
But before you do all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You hit the bell icon. And you give our video a like. Big thumbs up. Make sure you check out all of our social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. And if you can, go to our Patreon page and become a patron. And at the $5 tier and up level, you get access to
our shenanigans.
Jillian's malarkey.
all of our outtakes and exclusive content that we post for our Patreon members at that level and up only.
Shenanigans and malarkey are the same thing.
Okay, so our first topic is baby care centers. Now, we have never utilized a baby care center in the park, I have to be honest.
First time we went to Disneyland, I was 10, full disclosure.
So, and before that, anytime I went with a baby, the mom took the baby in, and I never went in. So I've never utilized a baby care center. But the baby care centers are really pretty neat. They have TVs, they have nursing areas for moms who are nursing, they have high chairs, they have microwaves, they have refrigerators, they have, that's where they take the kids that get lost. So if you ever have your child get lost, go to the closest baby care center and they will get a hold of the other baby care centers and find out if your child is there.
Also, they will also call the...
Security?
No. Well, yeah, they'll call security as well, but they'll also call...
Town hall?
Yeah, town hall. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Because they do take them there. They can take them there, but most of the time they take them to the baby care centers because they have the TVs and the entertainment stuff.
That's where children get to inquire about lost parents, because the parents are the ones who get
the
lost.
The kids aren't lost, it's the parents, because the kids know where they are.
Disney tells the kids that you're lost, not them.
This sign is at Town Hall, so if you're a lost parent, that's where you inquire about your child.
It's cute. They also have vending machines where you can purchase diapers, wipes, formula, other baby necessities that you might have forgotten.
It's the baby necessities, the simple baby necessities.
And they're great places to, if you have a kid that needs to get out of the sun, get out of the heat, get out of the rain, you can go, you can take your little one, you can feed them, you can let them watch TV for a little while and just be kids. So on your trusty Disneyland app, all you have to do is pull it up, look for guest services in the drop down menu, and it will show you where all of these services are located.
Including Town Hall, the baby care centers, and first aid.
Mm-hmm.
All you do is pull up your map, click on the drop down menu at the top to change to guest services right here. And then it brings up all the guest services, so you scroll down to find out what you're looking for. Baby care center is the one with the little pacifier. And scroll through the map and find where you're looking for. Oop, look, there's a baby care center. So we click on it. It tells me, yep, that's a baby care center, so now I know where to go.
The next thing that we are going to be talking about is the fuel rod chargers. Now you can.
Oh,
See,
whoops.
Let's
Sorry,
get
screwed up the logo.
packaging.
There's the logo.
So what that is a little charging kit that has a charger and cords in it. Everything you need. I don't know. Everything you need in case your phone is dying and you didn't bring a portable charger with you, or your portable charger ran dead. You can buy them in the park for $30 if you buy one.
Have you ever noticed that batteries are very melodramatic? Because they never run out. They always
Die. So if you do purchase one, you can get unlimited swaps. You just put it in the machine and swap it out, and I will throw that video in right here. All right.
So we are swapping out our fuel rod. Putting the empty in the pot.
The fuel rod charger kit includes cords for
the
Apple.
Lightning Apple charger,
And then
The
2 Android.
micro USB, which has also got an adapter for the C-type.
which is what the newer Samsungs, their phones use. So if you get one of these kits, yes. So if you get one of these kits, all you have to do is swap it out. Remember to take it with you every time you go, and as soon as it's dead, you swap it out and have a fresh, brand new battery.
And when you
It's
swap
great.
it out, you're just swapping the rod, not the whole
Whole
plastic
kit and
container
caboodle.
or the. No, you don't do the whole kit.
Yeah,
and caboodle.
not the whole kit and caboodle,
Just the rod itself.
just the battery charger.
And they're kind enough to remind you of that because this whole thing will not fit in the opening.
Yes.
So if you get there and you go, it won't fit, take the rod out.
Now,
Don't
they
be like
also
this guy.
What did you do?
they also
I tried to fit the whole thing in there and it wouldn't go
Why?
because of the fact that it doesn't fit.
It says to stick the rod in the little thing. It says it
And you
even
knew
in the
ahead of time.
directions.
Why did you try?
I wasn't thinking about it.
Okay. All right.
Everybody makes mistakes.
The next service that they have for guests is lockers. They have lockers outside of the park and lockers inside of the park.
Aren't the outside lockers in the little picnic area off the left, right?
Yeah.
This is the picnic area outside of the main Disneyland gate and the entrance.
You get to the gates.
Yes. And then off to that side, there is also a guest services desk. So if you need guest services before entering the park, you can go there. There's a picnic area if you want to go out there to eat. They do request that if you bring food, you go out to the picnic area, but nobody does it. I'm going to be honest.
Unless you've got like a cooler with stuff in it, and then
Right.
in which case you have to go out there because that's where everything is. But if you just got snacks or maybe a couple of sandwiches in your backpack, then
They're
don't
not
mind.
gonna complain.
They don't mind about that. But if you're doing like a full meal in a cooler, then yeah, you need to go out there because of the fact
picnic
that you
area.
can't take the cooler and actually into the park.
So, and it's they have tables and it's nice and shaded and that kind of stuff. But they have lockers for use. The lockers are only one day. You cannot leave anything overnight. They clean them out every night. So make sure you remove your items from the lockers at the end of the day. Even if you're going back the next day, you just need to use another locker and get another day. They also have a lost and found, which is over by the guest services, right? Which is over there also.
That's actually where the main lost and found is. So if they ever say, if you're looking for something and they say, well, it may already be over at the main lost and found, that's the one it is. And
Yep.
the reason why they have it outside the park is because of the fact that way, if say for example you lose something on your last day and you're talking to them about it, this way you don't have to go back into the park in order to go to lost and found. It's right there on the outside.
And I found out last time, because I thought I lost something, that if you are leaving and you live outside of the LA metropolitan area, that if you do a claim ticket for the item, that if they find it after you leave,
They will send it to you.
they will mail it to you. So that's really good. I did end up finding the item I lost, so I did not have to utilize that service in the end, but it is nice to know it exists.
Did you end up calling?
Anything else about the lockers that...
This is the outside lockers, so they're not incredibly big. but they are there available for your use, so you can utilize them on your next trip.
Have we ever used the lockers?
No, we have not used the lockers because we don't take large items that we're not going to carry around with us in the park.
Well,
But I could see where, especially if you're in a large group where you have multiple backpacks, leaving, like a couple of the backpacks in the lockers, and then swapping out with, like maybe more snacks or more drinks, something like that, instead of carrying around constantly all day long.
yeah, make a trip out. And,
Especially
if you're going to park hop, because if you're coming out of one of the parks, you can swing by the outside lockers, grab your afternoon stuff, and.
But there are also lockers inside of each park.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be staying in that same park all day, you can go back to, say, for example, the ones on Main Street, which are down at the end of that one street.
Behind where the Starbucks is, and that's where one of the fuel rod swap stations is. Hint, hint. Pro Disney tip.
There's also one by Starkid.
And say, for example, you're waiting for somebody who's either in by the lockers or in the Starbucks. If you stand out there, you can listen to things that are going on inside the windows up above you.
You do need to be close to the windows, and you do need to listen very carefully.
For example, there's a detective agency there that never sleeps, and you can hear them snoring. You can also hear, say, for example, if a phone call, half of a phone call, somebody talking to someone on the phone, someone getting their tooth pulled. These are actually pretty cool things that are
like the thing in the Starbucks where you're like sitting
Now,
there.
This is a totally different thing. There is actually 2 phones where you can listen to party line conversations. Mm-hmm. They're in the Starbucks. You just pick up the receiver and listen, and you can actually hear different gossip that was going on, being passed around from person to person. It's actually pretty funny.
They also have rentals available. They have strollers, wheelchairs, and what Disney calls ECVs, which the rest of the world calls mobility scooters.
Electronic convenience
Vehicles. Yes. Which the rest of this world calls mobility scooters. For rental, the strollers are $15 for one, or you can rent 2 of the same type of stroller for $25 if you have multiple kids. The wheelchair rentals are $12 a day plus a $20 per day deposit, which you will get back if you bring it back in one piece and don't destroy it. And the ECV is $50 plus a $20 daily deposit.
Which you get back if you bring it back.
Yes.
Without a scratch on it.
Now, the ECVs, we rented one last time, so I could tell you what that experience is like. We also rented a wheelchair from them a trip before. And
Years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
That was pretty easy. You just go up to the counter for both of these. You pay your thing, and then you take your little register slip over to the wheelchair place next door, and you give it to them, and they give you a wheelchair, or they give you the ECV.
To get just so that way you understand where we're talking about, it's in between the main gate of Disneyland and where the buses drop you off on that side. So it's on the opposite side of the gates from where the trams drop you off. So if you're coming in off of a tram, you still have to go from where the tram drops you off, past the gates, all the way over.
To the other side.
So if you're at the point of where you're going to need help before that, if you're going to need a wheelchair or something like that before that, either bring your own, or as soon as you can, find some place to sit down and have someone else in your party go rent the wheelchair for you and then come bring it back to you.
And we found something out great. We took my wheelchair, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do with the wheelchair? Because I'm going to rent one of the ECVs. They will store your wheelchair free of charge for you all day long. And they're open an hour after the park closes. So,
Along with the trams.
with everything. And actually, a couple of days we were there. I think we were there even later than that, and they were still open.
Oh, yeah.
They only had one window open, but they were still there. And we, so they will give you a ticket to hold, to bring back, to get your wheelchair back. And they will store your manual wheelchair, so that way you can rent one of the scooters. Because I know it's not easy pushing someone in a wheelchair. I know from personal experience it's not, from when I was mobile and I could do it. I know it's not easy for them pushing me in my wheelchair, but I can't walk around the park. I am not up to it.
And just for another tip for people who are like, oh, no problem, I can push you around in the park. There are some steep hills. Disneyland is not, in any way, shape, or form, flat.
No.
There are hills all over the place, and certain attractions, you have steep hills that you've got to come up out of
Space Mountain.
or go down into. Not just Space Mountain, but also Soarin'.
Indy.
Soarin', Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
It's not easy pushing someone in a wheelchair around Disneyland, especially someone my size. So we went ahead and rented. I do have a mobility scooter, but we used it the last time when me and him went to
According
Disneyland.
to them, it died like every hour.
No, it didn't die every hour, but it didn't make it through the whole day. So we wanted to rent one there. The great thing, my scooter died every night there, but the great thing about it is on the keychain, they have the phone number. You just call them up, tell them your scooter died, tell them your number, tell them where you're at, and they'll bring you out another one. And it's literally that easy. You just call them up. If you have a problem with it, tell them what's going on, and they'll bring you out another one. And it also, one of the days we went there, they're first come, first serve. And one of the days we went, they didn't have any. We got there at like noon, and they were out already.
Big mistake.
So if you want a mobility scooter, especially if it's going to be a busy day, get there early. But they do a wait list, and they did call me in the afternoon, say, hey, do you want it? And I said, sure. So we went out and rented it. So they will
But you do have to leave the park to go get it.
You have to go out to the place, but they do a wait list. So if it's a busy day, it was like 2:00 in the afternoon, maybe 3, something like that, when they called me. So only a couple hours, and they were able to give me a scooter. And so we still had one for the rest of that day, and we were there till like midnight. So it ended up being fine. But again, there is a $20 deposit for the wheelchairs or the scooters that you have to pay every day, but you will get it back as long as you bring it back in one piece. But it was relatively painless. You just fill out the form. They ask for your, name, address. You pay them. You can pay cash or credit card, either one. So if you don't have a credit card or you don't want to leave a credit card, you can bring cash.
And honestly, the durability on these ECVs, short of you running it into the rivers of America, actually driving it off into that, I don't think you would be able to break it bad enough to where you wouldn't get your deposit back. I think the reason for them keeping the deposit is if you leave it in the park and walk out, and don't return it properly, to where they have to come find it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people run into all sorts of things with these. There was one guy that we did see that ran into 2 trash cans. And I don't mean 2 Rubbermaid trash cans. I mean actually the metal containers, and actually knocked both of them over and kept going because he had lost control of this ECV.
Just keep in mind, if you're going to rent one, they don't operate as well as like mine does. It does not turn anywhere near as sharp. It does not operate as well.
Well, you also have a 3-wheeler
Right.
And these are 4-wheelers. 3-wheelers
That
actually
makes a
do have
difference.
a
So if
tighter
you're used to
turning
a 3-wheeler like I am, I tried really hard not to run into people. I try no matter what not to run into people because I don't like
It's not
running into
easy
people.
though when people jump in front of you.
And they will.
But bringing it back to the ECVs, another thing I've noticed is people leave them turned all the way up on the speed, and they're not used to the rapid response of it. Just turn the speed gauge down.
So
turn
it
it
does
down.
have a slight delay when you pull the thing to it starts going. So a lot of times people will leave it full on and not feather it off, which I learned how to do that. And so when you're first starting out, you'll get a big burst. It'll take a second. There will be a delay, and then there will be a huge burst of speed. And you got to learn how to you either have to turn it down or learn how to feather it, which I did eventually. But
I did chase after her. When she would do that, I would have to chase after her. And
So-
like, can you hang on a second, Dad? I
It was
don't walk
like,
that
where'd
fast."
she go? Oh, there she is. Over there. 3 attractions away. And getting smaller. She's only this big right now.
And I
Ah!
do have a video that I'm going to insert. Okay, so most attractions for disabled, you go into the exit, but there are a few that you have to go in through the regular queue. And so this is Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin in Toontown. And this is one that is wide enough for I'm riding my ECV right now. We rented for this afternoon to make it easier. So it's real tight and it's really dark, so be really careful when you're riding your ECV or you're pushing someone in a wheelchair through this queue. But make sure you look around because there's little things like the doors and pictures and props. Or you can play charades like we're doing. The next service I'm talking about is first aid. Yay! The great thing about Disney's first aid is they literally are there for like everything. When we went last September, my arthritis was causing my ankles to swell up really bad and hurt, and I got off of Space Mountain feeling really dizzy and yucky, and I went to the first aid station over by there and told them that my ankle is really hurting. Could I get an ice pack and lay down? And they were like, yep, come on in. Gave me the ice pack. They have cots. They let me lay down for like an hour, iced down my ankle, and I felt so much better. This last time we went, she got overheated from the heat because all of a sudden it was cold, 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 and then one day of really hot weather the way California goes. And
I literally was like, no, not doing
she
this.
got overheated.
I felt like I was going to pass out.
And a lot of people did. They had a lot of heat emergencies that day. We just took her in there. They let her lay down. They got her an ice pack.
Water.
They got her water. You know, they have pain relievers if you need them. They have Band-Aids if you need them.
I once
if they
got
need
stabbed
to-
by a pin while I was trying to put it on my lanyard, and I didn't realize my thumb was where I was trying to put the back. So I stabbed myself with the pin. And I
So
got a
if
Band-Aid.
pin trading, mind the pointy backs.
It doesn't matter what your ailment is. Go in there, tell them what you need, and they will take care of you. They have treatment rooms for anything that you might need to do. If you have medication that needs to be refrigerated, like diabetes medications, they can do that for you.
All you gotta do is
Go in there and ask. Go to the first aid station and ask. They have companion bathrooms in all the first aid stations, and they have cots in all of them. So if you have a family member, say you have a disabled child that you have
or
to
a
lay,
disabled mother.
if you have a disabled child that you need to lay down in order to change them because they are completely incontinent, you can go to the first aid stations and they have cots in them and you can change them there. You can do whatever thing that you need to. Just go in, tell them what you need to do, and they will provide you whatever resources that they have available to help you. It's Disney. All you got to do is ask, and pretty much
They can make it happen.
they're really great. Cuts, scrapes, headaches, sunburns. I don't know.
And if
Nausea.
it's something to where you need to leave the park for an emergency, you know, whether it's not really an emergency, but you need to leave and you really can't walk or stand long enough in order to be able to make it to the parking garage,
They
will
will.
actually let you pull they'll let someone else in your party pull your vehicle up to in where the buses go.
Yep.
And they will actually bring you out in a wheelchair to your vehicle. If it's something to where an ambulance is involved, they actually have a spot where the ambulances come in and they take you straight there.
And they will coordinate all of that for you.
Disney's amazing.
Yes. And they want to do anything they can
Oh, yeah.
to help you. And if you just need an ice pack because you have pain, because you have fibromyalgia, arthritis,
You trip over your
ME/CFS,
trip over your own feet and hurt your finger on a
and just need an ice
bench.
pack, go in and just say, I need an ice pack, and they will give you an ice pack. It's
So, to explain the tripping over your own feet thing, I actually did that. And I had a finger stuck in between two slats of a bench. And Dad ended up getting an ice pack for me.
No, we both went in there.
And actually,
So that way they can
the
look at it.
nurse
Oh,
called
yeah.
us later that day to make sure she was doing okay. Because they asked for your name and phone number and stuff, and if you're staying in the resort or not. And the nurse called back, and they are staffed by RNs, registered nurses, not just some EMT or somebody that they stick in there and say, here, you're CPR certified so you can work first aid. No, they are staffed by RNs, registered nurses. So they have all the equipment to take vitals, blood pressure, temperature, everything. So no matter what your problem is, go in, explain your need, and they will help you.
Oh, yeah.
They're great. And our last topic for this particular video is companion restrooms. So in the case where you have someone like me where I need help sometimes, or if I'm in the wheelchair or the ECV, a lot of times they can't get into the restrooms very easily. I'm looking for a companion restroom. So a companion restroom is the larger, or what some people call family restrooms. They're the larger bathrooms where you can get the wheelchair easily in, or the ECV in. And opposite sex people can go in. So like if we go and I need help, we go into a companion restroom, he can come in with me to help me. Or if you're a mom and you have a disabled son and he needs help, you can go in together. Or if you're a single parent there with little children by your own, you and your little children can all go in together. Especially if you're an opposite sex, like you're a single mom with two sons, or you're a single dad with a daughter and a son, you can all go in the bathroom, the companion bathroom together. They all have needle receptacles in case you're diabetic and you have to give yourself an injection. They all have baby changing tables. But most of the restrooms have baby changing tables, from what I understand. Even the male bathrooms in Disneyland have baby changing tables.
I don't know from experience, and neither does she,
But
but you
he
can
does.
ask him.
But the companion restrooms are all over the place. Again, every first aid station has a companion bathroom, at least one, if not
Hungry
more.
Bear's got one.
The Hungry Bear restaurant in Disneyland has a companion restroom. The tropical tiki room has a companion restroom.
You mean
City
Enchanted.
Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki room has a companion bathroom.
The tropical thing is tropical hideaway.
Right. The City Hall has a companion bathroom in Disneyland. In Disney California Adventure, Pacific Wharf has a companion bathroom. Flo's V8 Cafe has a companion bathrooms, but those ones are a little smaller than the other companion bathrooms. Personal experience, it's hard to get the ECVs in and out of that one. I don't super like it, but
Isn't
and
there
then
ones across from Little Mermaid?
yes, that's the next thing I was gonna say. Across from Little Mermaid, there's a couple of companion bathrooms.
Would that be Ariel's Undersea Adventure?
Yes, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. There's restrooms across over there, and they have companion restrooms there. Everywhere, almost everywhere they have companion restrooms, they have two. Just know that a lot of times there's a line for the companion restrooms because families use them, disabled people use them, and so that is about companion restrooms. Any last minute on guest services type of stuff? Any last comments from the Peanut Gallery?
Buttons? You can get buttons at the town hall.
Oh yeah.
Yes. They now have like a little cart they put out there with all the buttons, and sometimes they have a cast member out there. And
Buttons.
The celebration buttons. So go and take whatever ones that you want.
There's birthday, celebration, happily ever after.
For anniversaries, or if you they have a just married one. They have any last minute comments on guest services? Anything that I missed?
Nope.
No. Disney is really there to help you. So just go to customer service, go to a first aid station, tell them what you need, and then if you're looking for information on the disabled access system, the DAS Pass, go to Town Hall, City Hall, and Town Square.
Or in California Adventure, it's Chamber of Commerce.
And tell them what your disability is. If it's a mobility disability, mostly they're going to tell you to go rent a wheelchair. If it's not a mobility disability, so if it's ADHD, autism, irritable bowel syndrome, some
Whatever
sort of
it is.
thing, you go in, you tell them what accommodations you need, and they will give you the DAS Pass for you and your party. It might be 6.
I think it's 6.
Also, if you are using the ECV and not a wheelchair, a lot of the places you can't take the ECV in, so they have you park. If you can't walk the whole way, they have those
manual wheelchairs.
They have an attraction wheelchair or two sitting there. Like at Star Tours, you cannot take the ECV all the way through. There's not enough room.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion now, they make you leave the ECV up at the top and take a manual wheelchair down. But they have a manual wheelchair there for you to use. If you can walk it, then they just ask that you walk it. Like me, I can't stand that long. I do better walking than standing, but I can't stand that long. So I do have to use the manual wheelchair.
They will ask, and you can say, no, I can't stand that long, because you're going to be standing there anywhere from like 2 or 3 minutes to like 6.
Possibly longer, depending upon the line and everything. Anyway, so what questions do you have about guest services? Put them in the comments. I'll see if I can answer them for you. Did you like our video? Give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe and the bell icon. And as always, have a magical day.